Hey everybody, this is PD from the Spinner Rack, and we also have.
Alvin Ellis, ready to rock.
So today we are finally getting to the other trailer, the new trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings with surprises and all that stuff. So we're probably going to have to stop and talk about this thing, but we're going to see if they've upped the ante on this new trailer.
That's how you want to do it. You want to run the whole thing and talk about it, or we're gonna have to like talk intermittently.
I don't know. We can run it because I haven't seen it.
All
I've,
right.
I've held out, so let's watch it, and you can obviously chime in, as you can go. Anything to stop them from kind of stopping us from asking them to please let us put it on our channel.
Throughout my life, the Ten Rings gave our family power.
The bracelets gave us
If you want them to be yours one day, you have to show me you are strong enough to carry them.
power. Oh, sweat. Fu
You are
Manchu
part
isn't
of
playing
all who
around.
came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you
Okay.
like it or
So
not,
who's she supposed to be in this film?
you are also your father.
Here we go.
I
Oh
told
no.
my men
What happened?
they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
Hey, look, you got some height at least. Well, that
There's
didn't
no
stand
way that can be his father. That looks like his older brother.
Be careful how you speak to me, boy.
Oh no.
I thought I could change my name.
He changed his name?
Life,
What?
but I could never escape his shadow. My son, you can't run from your past.
No. No.
Is that what you wanted?
No. Dun, dun, dun.
You got this.
Thank you.
What the hell?
That was the Abomination.
Looks like Triton.
That's the Abomination. I'm positive. Comic book Abomination.
You.
Yeah, look at the ears. The thin ears.
Got a little of the other movie one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Abomination.
Fighting Wong? Like, come on. They turned into more. They turned a Hulk character into Mortal Kombat.
Hey, what else are they gonna do?
Like he's a Hulk. He's like the guy who almost killed the Hulk. Now he's fighting Wong. Like, are you kidding me? Are just trying to just establish that Wong isn't just a manservant. He also goes to these tournament fights on his day off. Like,
Well,
come
what is
on.
Wong doing in this film at all?
You know I.
Like, why is Wong in this film?
You
Could
know
it
why.
be? Could it be because? Do you think?
I'm more issue with this here.
Who's that?
If it's, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna go with the dragon from what's
Fing
that thing?
Fang Foom?
That's who I'm thinking they're going with. They're not going with the Iron Fist's dragon because they couldn't. They were too cheap to go that route. But they're going this. It looks like they're going Fing Fang Foom. That means that they're really trying to take all the bits from Iron Man that they could. That Iron Man 3 was actually going to be the Mandarin, Fing Fang Foom, like they were gonna go for all the marbles, and they decided, you know what? Let's trick them and let's give them Iron Fist. I mean, let's give them Extremis, Iron, as a villain. And it's just like, yo, this is like everything that was in the Dragon Seed story. The idea that the Mandarin had this in his had Fing Fang Foom in his back pocket, and he was turned to China. It's like, this is mine now, and they couldn't do anything. So the Chinese government was like, who can we get? The one person who's beaten him before, Iron Man. And then, of course, things didn't necessarily go, the Mandarin's way, but it led to a very powerful moment between Iron Man and the Mandarin. And it could have been a cool thing for a movie, but now they just turned it into a bit that's a part of, that's almost like Iron Fist because it doesn't seem like he's making friends with with Fing Fang Foom. So it's like, oh, this will show him be the true champion or the truly worthy. But that's basically what Iron Fist did. He goes to the dragon and he's able to get his the Iron Fist on his chest, which
No,
is
this
not
is
every.
different though.
What are you thinking?
No, this is different because Iron Fist is white. So this is completely different. This is completely different. No, I mean on some case, on some level, I'm like, okay, we're gonna throw every Chinese thing in this film. We even got Wong in here, and Wong doesn't belong in here at all. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, all right, go ahead. You know what? I have given this, I have given this these trailers a hard time. I have given them a really hard time. The other one we did was just a lot of fun to give it a hard time. But I'm looking at this right now, and hey, I can't say that I don't want to see it. So, but I'm still struggling not to give it a hard time. When I see
Food.
when I see the rings,
Yeah. Like, come on. Like,
it's like they couldn't have just been rings, like actual. Yeah, okay, you guys want to do something different. You got Aquafina up in here, like, all right, where's Blackjack Tar? If you read Master of Kung Fu, the
yes.
series when the series got up and running past those initial foundational issues where, okay, we get Shang-Chi, and then slowly we get his supporting cast coming in. We get Blackjack Tar, we get the major villains, and he's working with Interpol. There's actually some really good stuff going on there where you could have had him literally doing some of the things that you saw there. Here, I'm not sure what they're going for, but in the same breath, I really want this film to be successful because I enjoy Shang-Chi as a character. He is without a doubt a Bruce Lee analog, and anything attached to Bruce Lee, I always love to see go out and proliferate with much success. So I'm going to be very light on this one, and I'm just going to be very, very light on this one. There's some stuff over here that may look a little dodgy, but that can be said for a lot of trailers. I have no idea what Michelle Yeoh is doing in here.
You know why
Kate,
she's in there too. You know that they're trying to say, don't, they're saying, we giving you she's the real deal. Don't back out. China don't back out on it. Please. She's giving us so much good stuff. Why would you back out? We used her. We got her in it. We got Wong. We
I
got a
understand why
dragon.
she's there ostensibly. In terms of character, I'm like, what is she do? What is she doing there? And then they're doing, I'm like, are you gonna start doing all this chi energy stuff? Which Shang-Chi never did. He never did any of that stuff. He wasn't doing any of the Street Fighter, Hadoken, or any of that, stuff for the most part. Shang-Chi was just an extremely well-trained fighter in the wushu arts, just an incredibly trained fighter at the end of the day. And unless you were somebody who was like one of the top level fighters, like an Iron Fist or Captain America or Daredevil, along those lines, you were not going to be able to stand up with Shang-Chi in those type of matches. Now, if you're going to go have him fight the Abomination, you're saying something different for the films, but then that also says something about the character that for some reason he needs to be souped up, which he doesn't. He was able to take on just about everything he ever needed to with the training that he had. And it was also different in terms of the writing as well, because if you read Batman like Circa the Bronze Age, he wasn't putting on armor or anything of that nature. Batman was not going to be there for you to shoot him. He was going to use the shadows. He was going to sneak up on you. He was going to be too fast. You were going to see him and be afraid. That's the character written. Then it became, no, I just got a suit of armor for every damn thing. And the whole a creature of the night type stuff, and I'm going to put fear into the hearts of criminals, that got thrown out. This could be similar to some stuff with Shang-Chi. They're like, well, let's soup him up a little bit. You really shouldn't need it.
Mhm.
This would be a film that if I was approaching it saying, look, this guy is the master of Kung Fu, I want to show why he's the master of Kung Fu. That his approach to fighting is so eclectic and so clever. And the moves that he's pulling off, he's thinking so outside of the box that where somebody else is throwing a punch, he's thinking about the counter, he's thinking about the dodge, the counter punch, the kick, and it's happening so fast, so succinctly, and so accurately that you understand why this guy is on this particular level. So that would have been my approach to it. They're not calling it Master of Kung Fu. They're calling it Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. So we already know they're not going that aspect.
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't know. I think at this point I don't need to see any more trailers because I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be too analytical of the whole thing, and I really do want this to be successful. So I don't want to put anything into the ether that might cause it to be anything such. So hey, happy to see this last trailer. I am going to be on an embargo not to watch anymore.
Well, it's a definite theater experience that you have to go see, and ultimately, what can I say? I mean, some of the points that you pointed out really are the deciding things with this because I mean, you can do, I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tough to get here, and it's tough to be at this point, and we have some misgivings of it, and they're trying to throw some more things and say, "Hey, look, this is really cool. This is like, but it's kind of feeling like Apocalypse when Nightcrawler's fighting Archangel in a cage match, and you're like, what the hell is going on in this thing, in this X-Men movie? But they couldn't find the By Beast versus versus who's that guy? They're trying to tell us that the Hulk movie really happened, which is I'd be happy with that. But
Well, for me, it's not that it doesn't look cool or it doesn't look good. I I've been a long time fan. It's tough because been reading comics for so long, a fan of so many different characters. You're getting to see them for the first time, and then what I'm being shown is kind of like, I'm not too sure about this. But then for the 14, 15-year-old kid, hey, this is probably great. This looks, this looks like off the wall amounts of fun. So I'm just hoping, hey, I don't want to, I want to be just as entertained as the person who's never seen this before and may have some high expectations for it because I have high expectations for it, but based on my long time love of this particular character. So, I don't want to say that it's, not cool. It's just that the stuff that I'm seeing, at least for me, understanding and having read the character, like I'm like, what, I'm not too sure about what you guys are doing here, but you will have about 2 hours in a theater to make me a believer.
all right, you're really gonna make me do this, right? You're gonna be the nice guy. You're gonna be the good cop, and I have to be the bad cop.
I'm not going to make you do anything that you don't want to do.
He's walking around in this freaking low rent outfit and the hoodie and whatnot. He don't even have the sense of style. I can say the action might be this scene here, falling from the building is cool and whatnot, but it's like, yo, and it's like you look at the kid, I think you said it in the last episode. The kid is like the feeling when you saw Bruce Lee, right? When you saw Bruce Lee, it's like, man, I wish I had those muscles. And as a kid, you're like, oh sweat. If I was a kid, I wish I had those muscles. And then you look at this guy and you're like, all right, I think you, even though he's Diesel, it's like, yo, you can put your shirt back on. Sorry, you're not Bruce. You can't. You're not trying to be you. That sort of thing. Where you had a Bruce Lee, where it was like it didn't matter your race. You wanted to be him. Like that's how much thing he had, and that's one thing when they did this sort of thing. So it's looking good. It's like everything in the kitchen sink in here, like him in the grunge thing. Like now he didn't even want the name. Like he didn't want the what was it? He didn't want his Shang-Chi name. Like, come on, what kind of Shang-Chi is this? This is just like, oh, this is like a all the stuff we didn't want to like he's basically like Shang-Chi kind of feels like the Western, even though in the comic in the Western feels like a Western, but at the same time he knows that he's trying to take out his father. And that's the key part of the story that he's
Yeah,
there
that's
and
that's almost any Bruce Lee movie. They're all westerns set in China,
yeah, it's
Thailand.
like you don't need to do had any of this background and have him do these terrible jobs to show that he went and go with drinking with his friends, and then of course he gets into this karate fight. Like, that ain't the movie. The movie is he's like, hey, I'm searching for this thing. Maybe he could be looking for his father, and then he finds this whole thing, and then he starts connected to all this stuff. And what's the name? Oh, his father's like, oh, you're back. It's like you denied me. Now you come back. It's like, yes, I need to put a stop to you. Like, no, like you have to go through just like with the. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, you can say this is. Most people say this is what I want, and when I get to make my movie, that sort of nonsense. I'm just saying, yo, make him cool. And this guy, I mean, maybe when he has the
Man,
mock.
you're really making this hard. I'm trying to stay positive here.
So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
But you're making sense about him not being, him not necessarily, coming across as the coolest at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because I'm matching him up against, Master Lee, and that's just a really, really high bar. That's just a really high bar. And maybe, oh man, see, if I do anything else, it's gonna be like I'm trying to take a shot at him, so I can't really say.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a high bar. It's just a really, really high bar. And at the end of the day, he'll get his shot to show and prove when we get to see the film. Doing my best to stay positive with it, but it's really easy to take those shots. But then I don't want some groundswell. Last thing I want is like, we say something, next thing you know, it goes viral, world star, what have you, and then everybody's coming over here throwing, like throwing monkey scat at the thing at the end of the day, just like would be a big fest. You don't want that. So yes, I'm certain we get to see the film. He'll have some cool, moments. There'll be some stuff where he's not running around in a Letterman jacket, and
yes, that's. I'm saying give him if he's not going to be if let's we use the complaint from overseas that he doesn't have the look, he's not handsome enough, any of that stuff. Then give him some style. Give him some. He ain't got nothing in his background. Has some cool stuff. That's what they say with these Marvel movies. They're not going for like the Avengers when they're walking through the thing. Like there's nothing to look at. When he's in his house training, has some cool stuff in there. When he's not, don't have him drinking with those knuckleheads. You don't want to see him looking normal. If he has to walk past them and he's like, "Yo, getting a drink, look cool." That's what I'm asking for. It's a style. It's a thing. It's not about trying to. It's getting the style up. And you learned a little bit from Quentin Tarantino. Even if you like or dislike his movie, the style is always there. And this, we need some style. We need something to pull us in. But anyway, they got a lot of other stuff to pull us in. A lot of action, a lot of what's those things? Damn it, the Easter eggs for you to look at and say, what the hell is this? But oh no, the man abomination is like, yeah, what's the name? Wong is going to get killed. That's what we should be saying. But anyway, I'm going to end it there because I've gotten too emotional on this thing. But any
that
last
was
words?
great. No, we got to put that one. No, we got to put that one on loop. Wanda's going to get killed. There's no reason for them to be fighting the abomination. No reason for that.
So we're going to close this one off. Spin a rack.
Out.